Hi, my name is Rebecca Thompson Hitt, and when I first recorded my series called When the Unexpected Happens more than a decade ago, I had no idea what we would be facing now, as well, none of us did because it was all unexpected. We're right now in the middle of the COVID 19 or the coronavirus pandemic, and our families' lives have changed dramatically in a very short period of time. None of us saw this coming. None of us could possibly prepare for the changes that have happened. Our own feelings about what's happening, dealing with the day to day. My husband and I were just talking about, it used to be that you just went to the store and you got toilet paper and it was not a big deal. And now I'm hearing stories about I had to go to 3 stores to go get the toilet paper. All these things are taking up a lot of space. There's a lot of the survival level things that are happening. And then there are also the emotional level things that are happening with our children. If your children were in school, they're completely uprooted. If your child was in college, now all of a sudden they're home. There's lots and lots of changes that have been happening. Some families are, maybe they're the Facebook families. They're the ones who, oh, we're so happy to spend all the time together. And, we're doing all these crafts and we're doing all these projects and it's going so well and it's beautiful. And then there are most people, I think, we look at that on the outside and we compare someone else's outside to our inside. And we say, oh my gosh, we're in conflict, we're struggling. I can't figure out how to get the kids to participate and do what they need to be doing. And they're not doing their schoolwork. And it's a fight every single day, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is the norm right now, what's happening. We have the impression that everybody else has it together and we're the only one who's really struggling when it's most of us are struggling in one way or another. Even if we're not directly impacted, even if we haven't lost our job, even if we don't have a loved one who is ill, we're all impacted. We all are having experiences of this. And so I thought it was really appropriate to bring out my series, When the Unexpected Happens, and I would like to offer it for free. So that this is a tool that you can use, information that you can use to understand a little bit more about what's happening for yourself first, and then how do you support your kids. I'm going to be offering some free calls to discuss the ideas therein so that you can come ask questions and really dive into this material and get a better sense of what's happening for yourself, what's happening for your kids, and what is needed to move forward. So this is divided into 8 classes. They're about an hour long. They're only audio. This was back in the time before Zoom when I recorded this. So we didn't have video at the time, but I've been listening to it and it's really very interesting how relevant this is to what's happening right now. So the first 4 classes, we are talking about your experiences. We want you to understand what's happening for you. We want you to make connections with what's going on for you and what you need. And then the second 4 classes are applied directly to your kids. Now, you don't have to wait and do 1 a week like I'm going to do, but I'm going to be having discussions about once a week so that we can talk about these ideas and you can ask your questions. You can send your questions in. I'm working on having these transcribed so that if you aren't a listener, if you want to read along, that's me. I don't like to listen. I really like to read. But I just listening to my voice and the pace of my voice in the series, it's actually very regulating. Like, okay, all right, it's going to be okay. So you might enjoy listening to it, even if that's not your norm. But I'm working on having it transcribed so that you can read, and you're welcome to read ahead. I don't want you to have to wait. I mean, especially if you have kids and there are things going on, I don't want you to have to wait for a month before you get to the kid information or how can you support your kids. But one of the biggest things is you really looking at your own feelings and what's happening for you and what you need, And then that will help make space for your kids and what's going on for them, for their feelings and their needs. And so we'll walk through this together. I'm just going to put this out for free. If you have other people that you think would like to join this, please invite them. Come to the discussions, send questions in if you can't be on the call live. I know some people are still trying to navigate jobs and kids and all of that. It might be late at night or early in the morning before you can really listen and join in. I know we also have people around the world who will be joining in on this, so it might be the middle of the night for you, and I apologize. The world is a big place, and I can't make a time that works for everybody, but it's important. It's important to make the time and the space to really connect with what's happening for you, what you need, how you want to move forward from this. We have a really unique opportunity to really discover what's important and what do we want our lives to look like post-coronavirus, post-COVID-19. What's the world going to look like? And the impact of our children. I'm going to be using those calls to talk more specifically about the application to what's happening right now. The information and when the unexpected happens is general and it applies beautifully. And you still are probably going to have questions about, okay, Rebecca, what does this mean? How do I do this now? What does it look like in my home right now? How do I respond to my child who is doing this? This is the way my child is expressing. These are the rules from my government. Governments are handling this very differently. If you're in South Africa has very strict regulations. Parents aren't even allowed to walk their 2-year-old around the block. And so those parents are dealing with specific regulations that are very challenging. So from the government level down to what's happening inside your home right now, it varies around the world, but we're all in this together. And that's the thing that I want you to hear. I've had this really unique window into people's lives in many, many different countries right now. We're all in this together. We are all trying to find our way through this. We're all trying to figure out what to do with our kids. We're all trying to figure out how not to go crazy and not eat all of the cookies that we have in our quarantine stash today. So I would love to have you join me. Please invite your friends if you think that they would find this useful, and let's get through this together. Thank you so much, and I look forward to having you be part of this.